Wings for Swing Wonder. I'm Kelly Johnson, your Creative Nature Connection Guide. This is my tools video series. And this is video 4, and in this video we're going to be looking at pencils and pens that you may like to choose. So first, starting with drawing pencils. These are important because when you go to look at drawing pencils, there's going to be a whole range of choices. This is because drawing pencils come in different hardnesses. And these are measured with numbers and the letters H and B. Starting with 9H, which is the very hardest, going to 9B, which is the very softest. And that means H pencils are going to leave a lighter line, and B pencils are going to leave a much darker, softer line without applying very much pressure at all. So you can get a very wonderful value scale without changing the pressure, so you won't dent your paper or leave lines or anything like that. So looking at drawing pencils, Prismacolor makes a great range of pencils, and they're this nice aqua blue color. And you'll notice 9A is the hardest, moving up, 9H, 8H moving up to H, and then there's HB, and then there's B, 2B, 3B, 4B, up to 9B. 2B is the classic number 2 pencil, but a lot of drawing pencils or just regular writing pencils standard come in the HB also hardness, which is like 0, so if it was to be numbered. So I really like the Prismacolor ones, only because that's a very great brand for pencils, as well as they're this nice blue color. So think about that. And get a couple of pencils in the different hardnesses in the range. So maybe get a 2B and a 5B and a 2H and a 5H, for example, and then an HB, an H and a B. So get 6 pencils, different hardnesses, and sort of play with that. If you want a good pencil line to show in your drawing, use a B. If you want to just have a very light sketch that the pencil lines won't show, use a harder H. Maybe a 2H is fine for that. So play around with the different hardnesses, and 6 pencils will be fine. Unless you're doing some very detailed pencil drawings, you do not need the whole range of pencils by any means. There is another pencil called an ebony pencil that you may see, and that's for making the dark, dark, dark blacks. Unless you're, again, just doing a pencil drawing where you'll need very dark blacks, you will not want to use an ebony pencil in a watercolor drawing for sure, because it will smear. Then you might notice a pencil that is also blue. Prismacolor makes these, and these are called non-photo blue. So this is a nice, very light sketching pencil. Sometimes the gray sketch line is just too much. It shows up too much if you're doing a very light painting. These are a little harder to come by, but they're fun to experiment and draw with. So if you come across one of those and feel like experimenting and feel like doing your sketches in blue would be nice to your eye, you could try one of those. Or sometimes the day calls for just a super fun pencil. So I like Hello Kitty pencils, but any super fun pencil that you might already have around the house will draw just like any other pencil. And then I also like to have a mechanical pencil. These are just the cheap school mechanical pencils, but they can make a really nice, firm, thin line. So if you have one of those around the house, maybe certain drawings call for a mechanical pencil. So give yourself an option of pencils, drawing pencils. Now, colored pencils. If you can swing it, and it doesn't have to be the giant pack like this, get yourself the set of Prismacolors. Prismacolors are the best colored pencils. They blend the best, they have the best colors, they function the best, they're not waxy, and you will save yourself a lot of frustration by just going with the best from the beginning. But they are very, very expensive, but worth every penny. Another great brand is Derwent, And they also make drawing pencils as well as watercolor pencils, which are fun. Here's a couple to experiment with. And you can, you know, sketch out in the field and then come home and add your water if you want to. So that's kind of a fun experiment. But, you know, feel free to try. Feel free to decide, you know, on which pencils fit your price range. But maybe if you have a birthday coming up, you can ask for the big set of Prismacolors, and that will be a very nice treat. And then covet them. Don't let the kids get their hands on them. Because with drawing pencils and high quality colored pencils, you do not want to just toss them around. You don't want to let them roll off the table. Like, I would not just throw this pencil the way that I would throw this pencil. Because the lead on, it's not lead, but the graphite on the inside of this pencil will break within the pencil. And have you ever had a pencil that you keep sharpening and it keeps breaking, and you keep sharpening and it keeps breaking? That's why. It's been tossed around too much, and the graphite or the colored pencil on the inside will break and there's nothing worse than having your Prismacolor roll off the table and then it keeps breaking on you. So be gentle with them and respect them, and your pencils will last you a really long time until you basically sharpen them down to the nub. So once you've got your pencils chosen, then we can go on to pens. Get yourself some nice drawing pens. I really like the Pigma Micron, and that's because I like to use India ink when painting outlines in my illustrations, and Pigma Microns are basically India ink in a pen. They come in different numbers as well, and what these numbers are is the width of the nib of the pen. So if you want a very fine line, you can choose a 1 or 0.05 or 0.005. If you want a thicker line, you can choose a 5 or 2 or 3. You know, so you can alter your line thickness by using your pen, and that's great for stippling and cross-hatching and different pen drawing techniques, or for getting a really nice subtle line quality if you're doing outlining. Pigma Microns also come in a whole array of colors now, which is really great. And I think these are wonderful for working with watercolors because they're permanent. They don't smear if you put water on top of them. And then there's a lot of fun kind of pens. I like these lei pen. They come in a zillion different colors. There's jelly pens and glitter pens, and those are fun for adding the writing into your journal. Or just any little accents. Pens are just fun to have around for embellishing things in your journal. Basically just having fun with. So I'm not endorsed by any of these products. These are just my personal choices that I have learned to use very well over the years, and that I just personally love and find inspire my creativity. So I hope this has helped narrow your selection of pens, drawing pencils, and colored pencils when you go to the store to gather your nature journaling supplies. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Your words are growing in my memory. I'm like a trellis, but instead they're supporting me. And if they flower